Am I the asshole for refusing to help my dad's wife with their baby and saying I am not her helper? Dad and I, 17 male, do not have a good relationship. When my mom was sick with cancer, my dad was out cheating on her and he left me to take care of my younger siblings, 12F and 11M. He even let me catch him with 2 different women during that time. And my mom was on hospice, so it was really difficult not to say anything, but I was so overwhelmed and scared that saying the wrong thing would take her from us sooner. This was 4 years ago, and I never forgave him for what he put me through. I told him before that I never want to be like him when I grow up, and he's no role model for me. I also called him a failure as a husband and a father. He was pissed at being called a failure as a father, but when his 3 kids needed him the most, he wasn't there. Instead, he was screwing women on the side. He also said he loved my mom and never wanted me to say he was all bad as her husband. I said I found it so hard to believe, and he would never convince me he actually loved her. I was still mostly in charge after mom died, but eventually my siblings started to pick up some skills, so I wasn't basically doing it all. It really helped and made us regular siblings again instead of me being almost a dad. But it was also tough because they're really young, and I hated that they were forced to grow up so fast. Losing mom did that anyway. Dad met someone a couple of years ago, and he introduced her to us last year, and it took only a few weeks for her to move in. Then suddenly, she's pregnant, and they raced to get married. My dad's wife tried to involve my siblings and me in her pregnancy excitement, but I wasn't excited, and I don't think they were either. I'm pretty sure we all avoided her as much as we could. The baby was born in December, and she has been reaching out to me to help pretty often, but I don't help her. I check in on my siblings where I can, but other than that, I focus on me. I know biologically that baby is my half-sibling, but I don't care. I don't see them as a sibling, and I'm not planning to bond with them or keep them in my life once I'm in college. I won't speak to Dad either, just my siblings. Recently, Dad's wife has been pressing more for my help, and the other day she asked me why I could be such a great big brother to my younger siblings. But I have never even held her baby or cooed over her baby. She told me she sees me do so much for my siblings and knows I was the person who helped them through when mom was sick and then when she died. She told me she figured I would want to be the same for her baby. I told her it wasn't my job to help and to get her husband to help if she needed it. She told me she wanted her baby to be accepted. And none of us had accepted the baby yet. None of us had interacted with the baby yet. She said it's not fair and she needs help. I told her I'm not her helper, and she needs to hire someone if she wants the help. Or again, get Dad. But I won't be doing anything for her or her baby. She called me disgusting. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. If it were me, I would tell her all the nitty-gritty details of exactly why you had to be there for your siblings so that she understands why you're not interested in your dad's new family. She knows the details. She has attempted to defend my dad in the past, even though he doesn't even try to better his relationship with me. Tell her you are sick of being parentified while your mom was dying and your dad was just interested in his next fling rather than caring for his kids. You want a life? She is fit and healthy. She should look after her own baby, or the dad should step up. Not the asshole. If you live at home, try to spend time at library, etc. I work so I can get out ASAP. That's where I spend a lot of time when I'm not at school or checking on my siblings. Am I the asshole for kicking out my sister for her emo outfit and telling her she can go to the funeral when she wears respectable clothes? Last weekend was my dad's funeral. I planned it since my mom has been a wreck. My mom and my sister are not close. I am also not close to her, and I think she is a dick. So I am probably biased. My sister dresses in the emo style, so skulls, collars, lots of blacks and reds, heavy makeup, and so on. I truly don't care most of the time. She can wear what she wants. This is an issue at important events. My wedding. She did this even after she agreed to tone it down. She is always going full out with her outfits. I don't understand why she won't ever tone it down. For the funeral, she came in wearing a short skirt, band t-shirt, heavy makeup, fishnets and jewelry, collar thing and skulls. I was very upset that she couldn't dress appropriately for a funeral, and I told her to leave. She got pissed and told her go home and put on a respectable outfit. She stayed until my mom told her to get the out since she can't dress appropriately. She left and didn't come back. A lot of people who say her outfit agree she was out of line for a funeral. My sister has been calling me a jerk, and some people are saying I went too far. Not the asshole. A miniskirt and fishnets is not even in the realm of appropriate for a funeral. It would be much different if she'd worn a black dress with some jewelry in her style. But at 26, she should know that this was tone-deaf at best and attention-seeking at worst. Though the added context that she didn't even bother coming to see your father on his deathbed is what pushed this into you not being the asshole for me. Yes, everybody grieves different, but you weren't dictating her grief process the way a lot of these comments seem to believe, just trying to make the funeral a respectful atmosphere for the sake of your mother. Wait, she's 26? Holy shit. I was expecting 14, 18. My cousin wore a beautiful dress to our grandmother's funeral. Most people probably wouldn't have considered her dress appropriate for a funeral, but my grandmother had asked her to wear it specifically to her funeral. It was my grandmother's favorite dress, and she did. A lot of people talked about what she wore, but the ones who mattered knew why she wore what she did, and we all supported it, because there is so much more to the story that you may not know. Just remember, there may be more to the story, so don't make assumptions. I know for a fact my dad didn't ask her to dress emo for his funeral. She hasn't talked to him in forever, and didn't even say goodbye to him on his deathbed. Not the asshole. This is one of those situations where there's divide based on demographics, most likely age. There are times, places, and standards where different clothes are expected or required. Funerals, weddings, work, job interviews, etc. You didn't want her to not be who she is or anything like that. You wanted her to be reasonable. It is perfectly possible to be goth, emo, extra, and still within range for a funeral. Hell, it would have been easy for her to do it. It's literally just all black. She knew she was expected to dress formally and chose to ignore that. My Chemical Romance's Helena MV is a good example of that. What she was wearing sounds closer to club wear. You can dress, do what you want, but if you choose to step outside what a known stated standard is, you aren't free from consequences, whether that's not getting a job or irritation, judgment from family. And saying that it doesn't affect you also isn't true. Because her outfit was loud, it was likely intentionally meant to attract attention, which means that instead of focusing on speeches or on your dad, people were likely glancing at her or coming up to you and asking about her as you are the host/older sibling. You were already dealing with a lot, so adding the fact that she couldn't do this one thing on this one day to make your life just a teeny bit easier was probably the straw that broke the camel's back for you and your mom. Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the Books. I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.